handler helpers. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties, but it wouldn't be an MSM handler hangout without some technical difficulties. Am I right?
Technical difficulties are basically tradition at this point.
That's right. So, in normal My Thinking Monsters tradition, we started a few minutes late, but that's okay. We figured it out now. Thank you all for your patience. I was wondering what was going on. There's normally so many people here.
Yeah, it's true.
How are you doing, Monster Handler Charlie? Are you
I
excited for
am
this?
I am very excited. How are you doing, Monster Handler Jen?
Well, now that we've figured out the problem with the channel, I'm feeling much better, so thank you for asking. And you know what? What a great way to kind of start the last week of anniversary month. I'm having a great time. What about you?
Oh my gosh, anniversary month has been great. We've got some great things coming up. I'm very excited.
I know, me too. Let's talk about some of the really exciting things that have happened this anniversary month, Monster Hunter Charlie. I know the Monsterling Mythicals were a pretty big surprise, pretty
Oh
big
my god.
excitement.
Oh my god, Galvana, the Yostrich,
I
the
know!
baby ostrich looks so scared and baby new and fresh.
Oh, but it's so adorable, and I love the little baby furthers coming out of its head. It's so
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, I
And
like that too.
and we can't forget the path painting feature of Monster Hunter Charlie.
Yes.
What a development. I must say, as an avid MSM player, I have been really loving being able to decorate my islands in a much simpler fashion. I don't know about
Yes,
you.
it's very easy to do. Kind of reminds me of like I don't know, like a city builder game now, like where you can just quickly put down your paths and such. And I'd really like to give a shout out to the testing team at Big Blue
Yes.
Bubble for testing that because I know that it was quite the mountain to overcome on
Well,
testing the
absolutely.
paths on every single island.
Such a big feature to implement, right? Of course, we want to make sure everything is all perfect before we release it to the handler helper community. So thank you to everybody who was involved in making path painting possible.
Yes, it
Of
was not easy.
Of course, we had Bamibeth, but I know we've talked a lot about Bamibeth coming to the game. That was a pretty big, exciting thing. And then Epic Mythicals also arrived this anniversary month, which was pretty great. I have to say, Epic Yostrich, I think, is one of my favorite Epic designs of any monster. I think it's
Yeah,
so
it's
awesome.
it's pretty cool. I do think that it was really cool seeing Bimibeth as was uh, introduced through the contest, the
Yes,
player part, because
absolutely.
that also happened this month. Was it this
Yep.
month?
It
Yeah.
was the
Wow.
very beginning of the month. I know, well, I guess it was technically last month. It is October now, but you know what? It was this month.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know, exactly. Something else I'm really, really excited to talk about is the Spootical costume contest that launched today.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
we're so excited to be hosting another community contest where we get to see your creativity, handler helpers. I know I can speak for all of us when I say that the Play Your Part contest was awesome to see, awesome to hear all of your submissions, and now we can't wait to see your Spootical costume contest submissions. But I would
Yes.
like to clarify some things. There seems to be a lot of confusion over what this contest is. So, we are not looking for you to draw a costume for a monster. We're looking for you to dress up as a monster this Spootical season.
That's
So,
right. And
if
then you
you
can go trick or treating with the costume too if you want.
Exactly. You go trick or treating. You can go to a Halloween party. Maybe your school has some fun spootical activities that you can attend in your costume. Even if you just want to hang out at home. I love hanging out. I love costumes. I think it's so fun to cosplay, dress up. I mean, have some fun with it. So yeah, just a couple things to reiterate. In real life costume, we're not looking for you to draw a costume. We're not looking for you to concept a costume for a monster. We want you to create a costume of your favorite monster for yourself. So,
The only drawing that we want to see is on a mask that you will be wearing.
exactly, exactly. Another thing to note, no, you are not submitting a photo to the Discord channel. Please upload a photo or video of your completed costume that you've created on social media platform of your choice using hashtag Spooktacle costume contest, okay? That you're going to post that link in the Discord channel just like we did for Player Part. So we're following the exact
That's right.
same format of Player Part. We just want that link so that we can go and see your creativity shine. So, if you need more information, you can check out the official contest channel here in the Discord. You can also head over to our YouTube channel where we have a video. It's only 2 minutes long of all of the information you need about the Spooktacle costume contest. So please, please, please make sure you're getting all the information correct for the Spooktacle costume contest. We're so excited to see what you
Very
come up
excited.
with. I love Spooktacle. Spooktacle my favorite season.
Well,
Like,
and
my favorite seasonal event.
That's what gave us the idea too, because we were like, oh, play your part. Look at all these costumes people are wearing to play their part. And we were like, we should just have a costume contest.
Now they can dress the part. Am I right? Am I right? Throwing
Yes.
some
I'm
puns
sorry to
out
cut
here.
you off, though. That Spooktacle is your favorite season?
Oh yeah, it is. I love Spooktacle. I love
Yeah, me too.
Spooktacle in the monster world. I love Spooktacle season in the human world. I just love spooky times.
Me too. As I don't know if you know this about me, Monster Handler Jen, but I do like scary things, and Spooktacle season can be a scary time, and that's why I like it, because it's all fun and scaring. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the Plucks of the Cradle video that we released last Saturday, created by Raw Zebra. And wow, what
Yeah.
a video! I know that a lot of the Handler Helper community has already seen it. Monster Handler Charlie, what were your thoughts on the Plucks of the Cradle video? I need to know.
My thoughts are that it plucked up my little Dreamwave strings. So I love the creativity behind it. I love the mixed media in it. My favorite part is the big monster that's making the little dream catchers with his little strings, and I can't remember what the name was though.
The Stair
I think
Shaper?
it's this. No, it's not the Stair Shaper. It's
Oh, the Dream Crafter. Oh my
the Dream
goodness.
Crafter. Yes.
I'm over here on Magical Nexus. I'm over here on Ethereal Workshop. I'm over here. I'm everywhere, guys. I'm everywhere. I don't know what
Yes.
I'm thinking. Trying to deal with some technical difficulty.
One of my also favorite things about it is the fan art that has already come out of it. Because one of my favorite things about the My Singing Monsters community by far is the fan art that people create. It's my favorite thing about it. Yes, so I like seeing that stuff.
Absolutely. So thank you so much to Raw Zebra. Raw Zebra created all of the artwork, animation, the 2D and 3D stuff, wrote the whole storyboard, did all the music. He did everything. So thank you so much,
Yes.
Raw Zebra. What an awesome community collab.
And you know what, though? It was no easy feat. He worked his butt off on that.
Absolutely. Very tirelessly. Absolutely. So yes, thank you so much. And if you haven't already checked out Plucks of the Cradle, go and do that right away on our YouTube. It's an awesome, awesome, awesome video. I promise you will not be disappointed. And who doesn't love a little bit of monster lore? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the last little thing I want to talk about before we move on. Did you see that weird, video we put up yesterday? It was some weird sigil and some weird, looking thing in the background.
Yes, I have been sleuthing YouTube and seeing everybody's theories on what it could be, and you know what? I just don't quite know myself, but it is very interesting.
It does seem, though, like we're going to find out some more information on Saturday, this coming Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I know I will be there front and center, Monster Handler Charlie, because you know what? I need to be the first to know what on earth is happening. What in the monster world is happening?
And I would like to see what the community has to say about what is happening, so Absolutely. That is going to be very exciting.
All right. Well, without further ado, why don't we hop into some questions? We do have a couple pre-selected questions already, and then we will head over to live questions. Now, as a little preface, please do not ask us when things are coming out or what is happening on Saturday, because we will not answer those questions. We're looking more for
I'll just laugh and shake my head and laugh again. And then mute your mic.
So please keep it just game-related questions only. We aren't going to spoil anything. We're not giving you any hints about anything. We're just here to have some fun and hang out for this Handler Hangout October edition. Monster
Yes.
Handler Charlie, are you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Excellent. From Blart. Blart would
Well,
like to know, how do monsters without eyes know their surroundings? Do they have sensitive hearing or use their sense of touch? Now, this is a very
mm,
interesting question, Monster Handler Charlie. I don't necessarily know the answer 100%, but I would like to do a little bit of theorizing.
yes.
I think that a lot of these monsters definitely have sensitive hearing, sensitive touch. Much like when somebody loses one of their senses in the human world, their other
Mhm.
senses are heightened, right? So I think, especially in such a musical world such as My Singing Monsters, they're definitely, definitely using those vibrations that are kind of going through the ground from all of the other monsters who are contributing to the songs. Imagine all those percussions and all those strings and those
Yes.
vocals. They're
The
definitely, absolutely, they're making the ground shake. I definitely think the monsters can feel around, feel their way through, right? And not to mention, the monsters are all pals. They help each other out. So if they see maybe perhaps a maw that doesn't have any eyes, who's looking a little lost, those
mhm.
monsters are gonna come to that maw's
It's
assistance
funny.
and help it out.
I was gonna say that if Ma is sitting on an island and Tusky walks by, Ma's definitely gonna know where they are. And it's funny that I toot my own uh, horn here is rare Tusky has snow in front of their eyes, so I wonder if they can't see either. But they're so big, nothing stops them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, again, we might not have. We'll have to investigate that a little bit further. I guess the next time we go into the monster world. But I think those are some
I'd
pretty
like to
good
think that it's a lot
theories.
like I'd like to think that it's a lot like Toph from uh Last Airbender, where she can feel the vibrations in the ground.
Oh, yes.
Maybe like they can smell or even taste like a snake, maybe. Who knows?
Ooh, that's a good
It's
theory. We're gonna
fascinating.
have to. I'm gonna make some notes here in my own Monster Handler journal that the next time we go on a Monster Handler expedition, we gotta look into this. We gotta find a Maw and ask it.
Yeah, or maybe it's hiding like a sense, and if we throw something, it'll see it. It's been
Ooh.
faking it the whole time. That's not true. All right, what's the next
Question
question? Let's
from
see. This one,
Ishon the cat, I think.
Ishan the cat.
Go for it,
If
Monster
you
Handler Charlie.
Okay, sorry. If you could invite one monster from the monster world to the real life world forever and have them live with you as your roommate, who would you invite? I don't think I would want a single monster to be my roommate. I have a feeling that these guys are not housebroken. But if I had to choose, hmm, hmm,
Think I would have
hmm,
to say a catalyst because catalysts seem very very familiar to me. They feel very close to perhaps a human world domesticated cat. Not to
yes.
mention their sound is beautiful and they're part of like the dream space. So like maybe they can help me have good dreams forever.
Someone in the chat said Florist. That's a pretty good idea. I think I'm gonna have
Ooh.
to go with. I have two. So
Okay.
I like to keep my house. I don't want any percussion, any monsters because I have neighbors
Yeah.
and they're gonna get mad if I'm playing the drums. Um,
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna have to go with Flummox because they are very zen, very calming, and that's how I like to keep my apartment. And or Epic Chorister because they are covered in plants, and I feel like I could plant around them and have them as like a
Oh,
little quiet spot out in the backyard. Although they
that's
would be
a really
screaming.
those are both really good monsters. I like those selections and I think your neighbors will also appreciate no percussion in your apartment.
You think? All right, Jen.
uh
What's the next one?
the next question's from Plasmeeb, who wants to know, are whimsies and rare whimsies different species, or are they both just whimsies that wear different types of casings? Now, again, I can't say 100% certainty, but I think that they are two different species or cousins of each other. I don't think it's just whimsies in disguise or
Mhm.
whimsies in a different casing. I think they are two very distinct and separate species that are still related to one another. What do you think?
I'm going to have to agree. I think they are two completely different species, very much like the Pomely, where they all look similar but are different.
Absolutely. I think so too. I don't know. I can't imagine the Whimsies just dressing up and pretending to be someone else, you know?
Yeah, but that's a great question, and that is what I think. It would be interested to see what you guys think.
Absolutely.
This next question is from Egghead.
Love that.
Uh, as has Mimic ever tried mimicking other monster handlers while out on the field, or does Mimic know better than not to do that?
That's an interesting question. I know there was a bit of a scare a while ago when everybody thought that perhaps I was a mimic. And I know
Yes.
that there were definitely some clues to that. And that day was a really weird day. I feel like there's a chunk of it that like I just don't remember, so I'm not really sure what happened there. What do you think though? Do you think it's ever tried mimicking other monster handlers? Do you think it knows
I
better?
I think that there was also some conspiracy that a lot of the handler helpers thought that I too was a mimic.
Hmm.
Um, but cannot confirm nor deny because as we saw with the concert, Mimic was the DJ the whole time.
That's true. So what else if Mimic can even mimic DJ Epic, what can't Mimic? Am I right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder
Like
if Mimic can't mimic like like a chair.
oh, like an inanimate object.
Yeah, inanimate object. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah,
Like
I
I
don't know.
wonder.
I think we're gonna have to be careful the next time we enter the monster world, to be honest, Monster Handler Charlie. We don't want to
Yes,
be
we'll have to
mimicked
be
by
careful.
Mimic.
We'll have to be careful when we enter, and like make sure that nothing exits with us. Very much like the infamous me that
Yes.
is floating around our office, causing all kinds of ruckus.
Absolutely. But kinda nice to see it and wave at it and say hello once in
Yes,
a while, you know?
yes, it is nice. It's kind of like a little office pet.
I love that. Alright, what do you got for us next?
The next one is from Dragon Llama. Is Mimic's appearance actually Mimic, or is it another monster they decided to mimic? Oh my god,
A
this is
lot of
getting way too
Mimic
meta for
questions
me.
today.
It's like Inception.
That Mimic's appearance is actually Mimic. I mean, I guess we don't necessarily have any proof for or against that theory, but I do know that that kind of parroted bird, three-legged kind of figure seems to be the shape it comes back to every time. So I'm inclined to believe that yes, that is its actual appearance. But who knows? Maybe it will reveal its true self at a later date. We really don't know.
So I agree. I think that that is Mimic's form, only because, as we've seen before, sometimes Mimic has a hard time holding its mimicked shape, as in like,
True.
and it kind of just like what as we saw in the Perplexplore trailer, where at the end it was one of the spirits, and it came back, and it was kind of like, "Bwah!" And then it would
Yes.
change. So for me, it's like they have a certain amount of energy, or as if they're holding their breath, or something like that, where they can only hold on to the form for so long until they turn back into their mimic. But somebody here has a good question. I just want to go to the
Yeah.
chat. Theo the Gamer said, "What would happen if hypothetically lined up a bunch of mimics and had them mimic each other? Would
Oh
they
my
repeat the
goodness.
same phrase, or would it change over time?"
Ooh,
That's insane.
I wonder if it would be like a case of broken telephone where like they'd all start mimicking each other, but then like maybe one hears something a little differently
Well, like
and then
telephone.
yeah, and then they all start hearing it differently and then it just kind of gets chaotic. I think that's what would happen.
This is again getting way too meta for me. It's just it's too many layers. All right, what's
Definitely a
the
lot
next
of
one we
mimic
got?
chat today. From Gast King, they want to know. We know that colossals of the natural islands modeled their appearance after the spirit of creation, but what inspired the vastly different appearance of other colossals like Zaro? That's a great question, and I think because Zaro was just more recently discovered that we don't necessarily know a whole lot about it. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think?
I don't know. This is a really hard question. This is so we don't know that the colossals of the we know that the colossals of the natural islands modeled their appearance off the spirit creation. But what inspired the vastly different appearances of other colossals like Zorro?
And keep in mind, Monster Handler Charlie, Zorro is actually the inside of Ethereal Island, right?
Mm,
So that's also probably why it's modeled so differently. We've never seen the inside of an island before, right?
right. That's true. I don't know. This one stumps
Oh,
me. I
are
don't
you
know.
stumped?
I'm stumped. Monster Handler
That's
Tyson will
okay.
be so disappointed in me.
I'm waiting for him to pop in and say, "Hey, I know the answer."
I hope he does. I know he won't, but I don't know.
That's okay.
Uh,
That's why we go on these
the handler
expeditions to
helpers have
find
stumped
out
me.
more.
My theory would be, uh, I don't know.
That's
I
okay.
don't want to say anything that's going to confuse people.
That's okay. Why don't you pop over to our last pre-selected question and then we can start taking some from the chat.
Oakley dokley. This is from ZCF. What is your favorite magical sanctum monster and why?
Ooh. I know mine right off the bat. Frondly.
You Frondly?
I love Frondly. First of all, super underrated monster. I love its sound. It's kind of like haunting and like eerie and whimsical, and I just think that it's really cool. Also, I love its hair. I don't know if you remember Monster Handler Charlie, but I used to also have green hair, so I'm a big fan of Frondly's luscious locks personally.
Yes, that is good. Okay, yeah. Mine would have to be Rorik. As you
Oh,
saw in my Monster Mythos episode where Rorik was front and center looking for their friend, I have a little soft spot for the little guy. Kind of reminds me of Toad from like Mario or something. I just like Rorik. He's a cool monster or a magical sanctum monster.
I'd like to say special shout out also to Clacula. I love Clacula. I just want
Oh
to
yeah,
like dance.
Claudia
I want to
too.
dance with Clacula, and I want to get its little clackers and like, I just want to have a little party with it. I hope you liked my sound effect there.
Oh, do you know what? Kahoot is pretty cool too, though. I'm looking at Kahoot now. They're
I
pretty
know.
cool.
I love all the monsters. It's so hard when you can only pick one.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Well,
right.
Monster Handler Charlie, I think it's time for us to start taking some live questions. So, just as a reminder, please don't ask us when content is coming out or when things are coming to the game or what's going to happen in an upcoming trailer because we're not going to answer that. But yes, we're gonna start bringing some people up on the stage. Let's start with drumroll, please. Scented Candle.
Oh,
We've invited Scented Candle to the stage to speak, so please come on up. Hello, Scented Candle.
hello, scented candle.
Hello, Jinkies. Can you guys hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear ya. What's your question?
All right. Before I ask my question, I just wanted to thank you guys for this amazing community. Yesterday was supposed to be my last year before my 5-year hiatus on that, but I saw there was going to be an Ask Me Anything, and I had to join.
Nice.
So just thank you for the amazing community.
Thank you for being such a wonderful community member.
Yes, indeed.
What is your question?
My question has to do with a goober that I love very much, Monculus.
Okay.
So why would a Monculus not need any Zapped eggs on Ethereal Island or Shanty, for example? Like, what's so special about the nature of Wobbly Island that requires it to need eggs to be zapped into it?
Just on Wublin?
I think it's
Okay.
yeah. I think it's just, for me. I think it's that to exist on Wublin Island, you need some sort of electrical current.
It's that spark of life, right? Created from like the Wubbox with the spark of life. Yeah, I think so too. I think that Wublin is kind of like a really special place, because it it is very unlike any of the other islands. I think that needing that spark of life to kind of bring everything to life and bring everything out is the reason that you need to have that extra little oomph only on
Yes, I
Woblin
agree.
Island.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm sorry if that wasn't the answer you were looking for. I'm going to have to follow up with Monster Handler Matt about that one for sure. But thank you. That's just my theory. Next, we're going to invite Scary Table up here. Come on down. Scary Table.
Scary Table? That sounds scary.
Hello, Scary Table. Oh, and look at their PFP. It is, in fact, a scary table.
Scary Table.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is Deej very sad? Like, isn't he supposed to be like a DJ? Isn't
You
DJs
think
like
Deej is sad?
Yeah.
Oh,
He does look kind of sad. Okay, here's my theory. I don't think Deej is sad. I think that they're focused on making sure. If you ever go to a place where a DJ is like DJing, they are like
in the zone.
They are locked in the zone. They are. To me, they don't look sad. It sounds like they're trying to see if their sound is what they want it to be, because they're almost like staring up and off to the right, as if they're like, "Is that the right sound?" So for me, it looks more like they're focused rather than they're sad.
I also know that like Deej often has its hand up on its headphones, so like maybe it's just having a hard time hearing itself because there's so many other monsters around singing at the same time.
You know, often when I'm editing, I'll have a stank face on, and Monster Handler Ben will go, "Charlie, what's wrong?" And I'm just like, "Nothing. I'm just concentrating on this."
So I like to think that as well. I don't think Deej is sad. At least I hope not. If it is, I'd like to give it a little boop on the nose, you know?
Yeah, maybe Deej and Nightbear can hang out.
Nice. All right, next up, we have invited number 1 Bon Appetit fan. Hello.
I love these names.
Am I clear?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's your question?
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Problem?
No paths.
Sorry?
Do you know of paths?
Paths, as in like the paths in the game?
Yeah. So, you know how paths are exclusive to islands?
Yeah.
Why is that? What's stopping like, paths from being on different islands, especially artificial ones like the Bubblerite ones?
I think it's probably to stay kind of, in theme and in season of each island, right? Like, you wouldn't expect there to be perhaps things like snow, like from the cold island paths on something like Earth Island or Fire Oasis, right? It's going to melt if it's on any of the Fire Islands.
That's a good point. Just like in real life, like if you, if I were to take, sure, like lava from a volcano in Hawaii and I put it in Antarctica, it's not going to stay lava. Or vice versa, if I throw snow from Antarctica into a volcano for a path, it's just going to evaporate.
Also native to each different island too, right? Like we don't necessarily want to start cross-contaminating some materials with others, because who knows what the implications of something like the fire chill path from Earth Island, if we brought that over to, I don't know, let's say Water Island. Who knows what the implications could be? They're two completely different environments.
Like invasive microspecies.
Yeah, we don't know. We've never tried it. And you know what? I don't want to start upsetting the balance in the monster world personally, but
for sure.
No, that's my theory anyway. All right.
Good question.
Let's hop
I like
over.
ecological questions about my singing monsters.
Me too. How about Toaster Totter? Come on down. Love
Again,
that name.
Great name.
Hello.
Thank you. I'm actually so surprised. Thank you for putting me on stage.
Absolutely.
I would like to say so many things, but we don't really have that much time. But anyway, my question is, how does Kana, so in Tribal Island, how does Kana break out of the amber structure? Does she just have the choice to when it's level 100?
Ooh, great question. Monster Island Charlie, do you have any ideas?
So the question was, how does Kana break out of the Tribal Island?
Yeah, because it's when you hit level 100, right? You get
I
Kana.
like to think that the way I picture it, because I don't know if they know this, but I am actually part of someone's tribe, and I am very low key on which one it is. But I like to think that every time you level up your monster, they get a little bit. They're like almost like chipping away at it, kind of like a which is a geologist. No,
Rocks, right?
yeah. What is it with like people who like dig up bones?
Archaeologist?
Archaeologist, yeah. No, yeah, whatever. You know what
Go
I
with
mean.
that.
So it's like every time you level them up, it's like they're chipping away at it, and then from the inside, Kane is also pushing from the inside. So it's kind of like, and then it gets to a breaking point where Kana just breaks open. It's kind of like a team effort, and everybody in the tribe has put in their everybody or one person who puts in a lot. As the
Absolutely.
tribes usually go, where there's like 4 people that put in like a ton of things, but it's good to see when everybody works together.
I like that idea of like, everybody coming together to like help break away and chip away to like let Kana be free. I'm kind of imagining Kana as like the final boss, but like not one you have to fight, one you're just trying to free. So every time you hit a new level, like you said, like Kana's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and once you hit like 100, Kana's like boom, like I'm here finally, like I'm full power.
Yeah, it also
that's how I imagine.
Kind of reminds me of like when Zelda is trapped in the crystal in many of the Zelda games, and you have to defeat all the temples. That it kind of reminds me of that too, but more in like a community way. It's fun.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think those are some pretty good theories.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. How about Epic Bellowfish Reel? We have the real Epic Bellowfish in here? My
What
goodness.
the heck?
Come on down, Epic Bellowfish Reel. Hello!
Hi there. So I was actually invited last time and I had some technical difficulties, so I am very glad to be back here.
No worries.
Perfect.
What's your question?
So, the mirror dimension, it ended when the workshop ethereals escaped. If that never happened, would the mirror dimension like pretty much be the same state as the Dawn of Fire or the common era of the monster world?
Oh.
Hmm.
That is quite the question. And you know what? I honestly don't know. It's such a big question. There's so many possibilities of like what could have happened if this didn't happen. What do you think, Monster Island Charlie?
I think that it goes to his first point where it might be in the same state as Dawn of Fire.
Okay,
That's
like
my
it just
theory.
would have, like Dawn of Fire would have just continued on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty good theory. I think I would have to agree, because if like none of that happened, then yeah, why wouldn't the what we saw in the Dawn of Fire era continue, right? Perhaps it would have eventually, on its own naturally turned into the monster world we know today, kind of like how our world, we have like all the ancient histories that have all developed into how we know the world today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a oh my goodness, scientist. That's the word.
That's an extremely insightful question, though.
It is.
Thinking about the history of the two games connecting and what would have happened if the mirror dimensions never came to be in the alternate timeline, I think it's called.
Exactly. I like that
Very
idea, though,
cool.
that the Dawn of Fire era would have just, continued.
Mm. Cool.
Right. Who is next? We're going to bring up Augment. Come on down.
Augment.
Woo! Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. What's your question?
My question has to do with Meepkin.
Okay.
So, basically, there are tons of similarities between Meepkin and Bamibeth.
Okay.
Including like their heads and stuff. So I was wondering if Meepkin somehow like idolizes Bamibeth, like how he like looks so big and everything. You get what I mean?
Cool question.
Like if Meebkin looks up to Bamibeth?
I think Meebkin literally does look up to Bamibeth. Bamibeth is actually like huge, like a big monster. So I think it does literally and perhaps figuratively look up to Bamibeth.
I would like to think that all of the monsters look up to Bamibeth. I
At
kind
least
of look
the
at
ones in
Bamibeth
Ethereal
as like a-
Workshop.
Right. Yes. And that, yeah, good point. But for me, it's like I think that Bamibeth kind of for me is like sort of like a leader in a way, kind of like a king almost. Not so much a king, but like you know what I mean. So yes, I think that it's a leader, and other monsters definitely look up to
Absolutely.
Bamibeth.
And I mean, because it obviously has all of the different elements. Thank you. I don't know what I was going with there. Thank you.
That's okay.
All of the monsters in Ethereal Workshop can look up to it, right? I feel like Bamibeth has all the answers, you know? All the answers that the monsters want to know, Bamibeth's got it.
I've said this time and time again, but Bamibeth does remind me of like Voltron, where like it's as if the monsters came together and made one big monster or something, like in Power Rangers.
Yeah. I know what you mean. That is so good. Next up, we're gonna invite Apollo TS. Come on down.
TS.
And I believe Apollo was maybe one of our player part winners.
That is so right. You are literally right. I was actually a player part winner.
Hello, Apollo. How are you?
Really good. And I was literally thumping my heart because I wanted to be on here so bad.
We could bring you up. What's your question?
Now, my question is, what happens to the workshop monsters if they escape the workshop?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
That is a good question. And we did see that happen when they went to the Clubox during Yes.
Summer Song.
So, during Summer Song. So, or no, was it them or were they holograms?
Well, no, it was them. They did somehow manage. I think DJ Epic helped make sure that the Monsters from Ethereal Workshop could come to DJ Epic's show this Summer Song, because they are all fans of DJ Epic, of course.
That's right.
But it seemed to be a very limited time thing. Like, I think if they stayed out of the workshop for too long, that things could maybe get a little crazy, a little weird. But yes, we like to make sure that they're in their natural habitat as much as is humanly or monsterly possible, I guess.
I'm not too sure what would happen in that case. For me, it would be more, I think it's more that it would be an uncomfortable experience for them to adapt, but they would eventually adapt.
Yeah, I think that it would probably have some implications, though, on the monster world. I know that some of their bios do talk about how it could alter the seam or the space-time or something along those lines. So we don't want them to be out too long, but perhaps one day we could figure out some way or some contraption to help the monsters of Ethereal Workshop perhaps vacation to other islands.
Never say never. We've seen crazier things happen. And you know what, Vention? And you know what? All Vention wants is a suntan.
Right? Honestly, same. All I want is a suntan too, I think. Okay. Who is up next? Let's hear from Hornball2763. Come on down. Hello.
Hornball.
Hi.
What's your question?
I feel like I have a stupid question, but like
no such thing.
So you know, like Scups has a lot of carries water in it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, is there a limit to how much it can carry?
Ooh.
Good question. I will ask you a question rhetorically. How does a camel have an amount of how much water it can carry?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that either.
Yes. Yes, it does have a limit. Just like everything, I think, has a limit. You know, you don't want to get too full from drinking too much water all day.
I think that Scups can hold a lot more water than we think, though. Like, I think that obviously its body chemistry has been created to carry large amounts of water, right? Just like a camel. I don't know. How much water can a camel hold? Because I bet that it holds pretty close to, if not more, than a camel. That's my...
A camel can carry 32 gallons
All right,
of
then
water.
I'm going to go out on a whim here and say Scups could hold 38 gallons.
Listen,
I don't know.
I think that Scups, yes, can hold a lot more water than a camel, but I don't think it's like a black hole that is infinite. I think everybody has their limit.
There's definitely... Once you
And
start
if there's
to
a
see
Scups
the
that wants to
water...
come over here and prove me wrong, then I encourage them to do so.
I'm imagining that, like, when Scups reaches the threshold of how much water it can hold, it starts to, like, it looks like it's sweating because, like, water beads start, like, coming out. It starts to, like, kind of overflow a little bit. That's how you know that there's enough
for me,
water.
it's like for me, it looked like for me, if Scups had hit their water limit, they would look like a big orb, like Violet in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Like, it would just turn into a big blob,
like a big ball, and it's just like super stressed.
Oh, I like that. All right. Ooh, next question is from LeBlout James. Love that. Love a good pun. Down. Hello.
Oh my god, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was just surprised. So I have a question I've been thinking about since the first handler hangout that happened.
All right.
Oh god, I was in that one.
You know how the Wubbox like created all of the Wublins, I believe?
Yep.
Does the Wubbox have a favorite child perchance? Or
like who is Wubbox's favorite?
like Wubbox's favorite out of all the Wublins.
Oh. It's like
okay.
That's say they don't have a favorite child, and then
allegedly. Yeah. Listen, I don't think that Wubbox has a favorite Wublin. However, my parents say the same thing, that they don't have a favorite child, but sometimes it's very clear that they do. So I think that parents always say that they don't pick favorites, much like Wubbox probably says they don't pick favorites, but I think secretly they do. That one is, that's up to Wubbox.
I don't necessarily think it has a favorite creation it's made. However, I would argue that Wubbox has a special place in its heart for Munculus, because Munculus was kind of like the prototype, right?
Munculus is kind of like one of my favorite monsters by far, anyways.
Absolutely. So while it may not be the favorite of Wubbox, I would think that it has a special place inside of it for Munculus, as it was the first prototype, and it turned out so beautifully. And now it's got its own seasonal event. It lives on seasonal shanty as well. Like, Munculus is just living it up in the monster world, if you ask me.
I personally... Okay, so Jen.
Yes.
Monster Handler Jen. What monster from Wublin Island is your favorite?
Waija.
Waija?
Lipsqueak
is probably mine.
Oh, Lipsqueak! I feel like my mic
Axolotl's pretty good too. I usually root for the little guy.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Mulch. I love Mulch. Get down and funky. I love Mulch.
Cool.
Yeah, see? People get it. I see you, Monster Handler Alley, in the chat. Mulch, my beloved. That's right. All right. We got a couple more questions here. Let's hear from Deluna. Because you've got some Punkletons in your name. Hello.
Oh my god, hello.
What's your question?
Hey, so I this is my second time on the Monster Handler Hangout, so I'm very, very thankful to be here again.
Well, welcome back.
Oh god, I'm gonna get so many DMs. So, I have a question about the game and not so much as the lore. So, why does it do monsters sound more compressed when you're in between two of the same monsters?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I sort of know what you mean.
Yeah, if you put your view in between two of the same monsters, it gets slightly more compressed. And I haven't really heard anyone
else. That's just a technical difficulty.
I see what you're saying. I think I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Monster Handler Charlie, that the game utilizes like 3D spatial sound. So like if you're on one side, you'll kind of hear more out of your left headphone. If you're over here, you'll hear more out of like your right headphone. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Yes, I was gonna actually say exactly that. So it does have 3D sound. It's probably there's probably it's probably a monster fighting over the same spot. You know, like
yeah,
let's
like
say
kind of caught in the middle.
Right. So let's say I had just for example, Noggin, Mammoth, and Toe Jammer, and I zoom right in on Mammoth. It could be that Mammoth is fighting over the left and right microphone with the other two monsters. That could actually just be a straight up bug. And I'm sure that there's an answer for it. I'm sure, or it could just be like a, yeah, we know we're trying situation.
We'll pass that along to some of the other monster handlers, but I do think it probably has something to do with the 3D sound that exists within the game.
And
good question. Let's
very
see
perceptive.
here. Yeah, absolutely. I never would have noticed that. Let's hear from Scuplin. Come on down. Hello, Scuplin. You're muted. Hello.
There's a family with Weedle, Wibble, and Dandadoo.
Okay.
What could the family name be? If there is one.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
What do you think it would be? I think it would be, if it was the Flutter family.
Oh.
No, because there's already.
Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Do I have the answer? I might not. Oh shoot, I don't have the answer. I was really excited because I have a doc with some of this stuff in it. But
like our suggestions. I think I would like to say that it's something to do. Well, let's just make one up.
Okay, what do you think?
I think I like Flutter family.
Okay, I like the Toodaloos.
The Toodaloos?
Yeah, what the Toodaloos. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Toodaloos.
I'm gonna go with Toodaloos as well.
Probably very wrong, and Monster Handler Matt is probably listening to this right now, being like,
shaking his head.
You silly gooses. I'm gonna follow up with Monster Handler Matt on what that family name is because I have absolutely no idea. But I'm going with the Toodaloos.
I like the Team Toodaloos.
Team Toodaloo.
That's kind of like you're saying goodbye though, because you're like Toodaloo, like you're saying bye.
Well, perhaps it's like one of those things where it means hello and goodbye, much like ciao or something like that.
Somebody said the Bjards.
Oh, that's like fun.
Like bards mixed with birds.
Yeah.
That's interesting too.
All right. We've only got time for a couple more. Why not hear from Fungus Man? Come on down.
That was my nickname in high school. No.
Oh my gosh. I didn't really expect this, but like my question is, can Meebs like attuned to natural elements?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think we've seen any instances yet where they have. But I mean, it's like Charlie said, never say never. But as of right now, I think they've only really attuned to some of those, like not ethereal. Sorry, like the mech, the poison. All of those. I wonder, what do you think? Do you think that if they made it into the natural islands that they could attune to natural elements?
Yes, and here's why. And this is my personal opinion. But as we've seen so far with the Meeb that got in through the portal into the real world, that Meeb has attuned to things in our world.
Oh.
So, what is, like, the other day I saw it attuned to a lamp. What is a lamp but just metal?
Oh.
Huh?
Okay. What you're saying here?
Chair Meeb real.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, maybe. If
in terms of
we'll let you know.
In terms of the Monster World, I don't know. I'm going to say probably, but it all depends on if Amiib will ever leave the inside of the Ethereal Workshop.
True.
Or,
Again.
Ethereal Sanctum.
Workshop.
I meant, like, underneath the... you get it. It's all... Yeah. Apple Meepkin? That's hilarious.
Ooh. Let us hear from... Let's see. Evil Calstick. Is that right? Calstick? Yes, that's correct. Please come on down to the stage. Oh, number one Raculele fan. Perfect. Hello.
What do you think is the most evil monsters?
Who is the most evil monster? My goodness. I hope none of them.
Voidcorn.
I get, yeah, Voidcorn.
Voidcorn isn't a monster. It's technically a costume.
But perhaps that costume takes over Furcorn's brain and makes it like its evil twin.
I think that... Oh, no, you know what? I wouldn't say that this monster is evil, but definitely a trickster. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're evil.
He definitely doesn't have evil intentions or bad intentions, but it's definitely likes to play in some tomfoolery, if you know what I mean.
Epic Kana kind of also looks like a final boss.
Yeah, but again, Epic Kana is a sweetie. It's got a heart of gold, or perhaps lava of some sort for its epic form. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, I don't think that. I think there's monsters that definitely look more monstrous than other animals or monsters,
but which well intentioned.
But Bamibeth looks like also a final boss.
But I like your idea about Voidcorn, because I know Voidcorn has been up to some nonsense in the game before.
Voidcorn kind of gives me like Riddler vibes.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, I think we have time for one more question, Monster Hailer Charlie. Let's take Colt the Gajuber. Hello.
You're a goofy Juber.
Hey.
Hello. What is your question?
So this question has been blowing my mind like ever since Tiwa came to Amber Island. You know how your young form kind of has one eye, but her adult form has two?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
During the process of her growing up, is it painful when she grows her second eye and maybe her extra limbs too?
Oh, I
don't think
it's painful. Actually, my theory, Monster Handler Charlie, is that Tiawa's second eye already exists in like when it's in the monsterling form. It's kind of hidden behind some of those furthers, and then once it grows up a little bit, kind of just boom,
like adult
two
teeth.
eyes now. Yeah. Like adult teeth,
I
exactly.
would like to think that, if you like as you're growing up, you have those nights where you get achy legs and you growing pains. I think that's as far as they would feel. Like it's just like growing pains essentially.
Absolutely. And if you look at rare Tiawa, because rare Tiawa also only has one eye, perhaps that's how they kind of morph into the rare Tiawa. Maybe the monsterling just doesn't have the second eye that it's supposed to. So then instead of, growing the second eye to become a rare Tiawa, it sprouts beautiful furthers and changes colors to become a rare. I don't know. It's possible. Anything's possible.
That is, you know what? I always do forget that Dawn of Fire's monsterling Tiawa has only one eye. It's so cute looking.
It is so cute. I love it.
I love all the monsterlings. Honestly, they're
very cute.
so cute.
I know. Well, those were some really good questions. Definitely some food for thought. Definitely some questions that I couldn't answer, and I feel
sorry. Smarter and dumber.
Yeah, at the same time, simultaneously smart and dumb. But you know what? Great questions nonetheless. This is why I love doing these handler hangouts. We get to hang out with the community. We get to answer or not answer questions based on our knowledge.
I always
that was super fun.
Think that I'm a really obviously I'm a huge fan of My Singing Monsters. I play every day. I love this game, but some of these questions that come in, I'm just like, that is definitely some food for thought because great questions, and it makes me think, and it makes me think even more when I'm playing the game, because I start thinking about them. Very fun. I just love these handler hangouts and seeing what the community has to bring.
Yep, and like I said, I can't wait for Monster Handler Matt to go back and listen to this at a later time and be like, "Oh, you silly gooses."
I know, we're gonna have to go back to
You
school.
should know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to Monster School, unfortunately.
Monster
but
Handler
thank
Matt's
you.
gonna like slap a ruler on the whiteboard and be like,
Yep.
"Listen, you ninnies," as he always says.
Exactly. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the October edition of Handler Hangouts. We're really, really excited to see what is happening on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel, so make sure to be there. I think it's going to be a big one. I think it's going to be a real doozy.
Yes,
I'm really excited.
I'm gonna say this right now. I have never been so excited for a trailer.
Me too, and I can't wait to see what's happening, and I can't wait to see what's coming. But thank you, everybody, so much. We will see you on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely. Bye. And as we always say, happy
monstering. Bye.